Glad you could join us. Now, having shut down for close to 9 months, operators of beach resorts in the country are beginning to resist restrictions imposed on them by government due to the COVID-19 pandemic. President Akufo-Addo had ordered the closure of nightclubs, pubs and beaches as a measure to contain the spread of the virus, a directive which continues to be in force. But after a vigorous electioneering period that saw large rallies and the massing up of huge crowds, the operators of the beaches say it is time for the ban on their operations to be lifted. Manuel Kranting was at the La Pleasure Beach Resort here in Accra to interact with the managers there.
All these are chairs which ordinarily would have been serving patrons who visit the beaches. But this has been empty, and the picture has been like this, for instance, almost 9 months now. But something is developing. You've seen the Ghana Tourism Authority, the GTA, went about clamping down on facilities which were operating against the directive of the president. And this, for instance, is evidence of what happened here last night. And so what debris of kebab sticks, of cups, plastic cups and bottles and plastic plates, all of them showing you what last night was like here at the La Pleasure Beach Resort. So I'm going to try and, speak to the managers here to find out why, first of all, they are in flagrant disregard of the president's directive for them to close, and whether or not they are not, worried about the possible implications of their continuous operation.
From March, these things was shut down, and we think from March up to, let's take it, October. November, nobody comes here up to October. We've sacking people, beach closed and other things. But 3 months from March, 3 months around the line, we see that they're hoping the pubs and bars that they should work. But we didn't allow our people who have a bar here to work because we are the beach they are talking about. So we make sure all the protocols must work. That is what we do. As time goes on, we see all the beaches are working. And we have every place, wherever you go, when they see that the beaches start working, when you sack them, they don't accept to go. They are forcing to enter because the beach are working. So what we are doing this thing because of we don't understand the whole show is going on. So we need them to come closer so that they should tell us whatever we should understand better so that.
What we've been told is that you're supposed to close the beaches because of the sort of crowding that we see at the beaches. I mean, the engagement really at the beaches, body to body, touches and physical interactions. That's almost like the main means of spread of the virus. And so they say, shut down up until we know it's safe enough. That's not a good enough a reason.
It's too good. It's too good, but that's for sake of some reasons. We don't understand because it's good if that's so. You can see rallies. You see, if that is what is going to bring the sickness to the people of Ghana, I don't think that.
I personally am believing that Ghanaians themselves are not believing in that COVID-19 because you can see the rallies, how people crowded, the walks that they went, even how they do their political things. Ghanaians themselves, they don't believe in COVID-19. Yes, that's why you can see people trooping in here to come to the beach. So now we are pleading with the government to just open the beach for us because as we talk to the tourism authorities, they give us the protocols to follow. And we think with that, there's no problem with coming to the beach. So we are
people have been coming.
People have been coming since the COVID started in March, and we are sacking them.
And yes, they want to be happy. Ghanaians need to be happy, and where they know they will be happy is Labadi Beach, so they are forcing to be happy. We don't stop anything. Not everybody that you see there. We don't take money as whatever Yeah. We buy our ticket. At least holidays we can buy tickets like 15,000, 10,000 tickets for holidays. Only. That means huge money for the government to gain. So we don't understand because even the election time, you can see things. Just allow us so that we should operate a few months or whatsoever, so that you see whether we can't or we can.
Okay, so you want government to allow you to operate for just some observation and evaluation?
Yes, so that you should see whether the sickness can disturb us or not.
Now, the Food and Drugs Authority, FDA, has cautioned the public against neglecting labels and writings on food products to avoid consuming expired ones, especially during the festive period. Ashanti Regional Head of the authority, Nora Naki Telabi, advised consumers to carefully examine labels on products purchased to ensure consumer safety and avoid food poisoning and other health-related issues. She was speaking to my colleague, Prince Apia.
So we are here to speak to the Ashanti Regional Director for the Food and Drugs Authority, Mrs. Nora Naki Telabi, about what to look out for this Christmas period when you want to buy hampers or canned materials for your loved ones.
What we realize is you get these hampers already prepared. So you want to give somebody a gift. This is the season of giving. So all of us are trying to give to our loved ones and our friends and acquaintances. So you purchase them. By the time you bring this, the person is gifted the hamper. So you bring it home. You are not actually, you don't make a conscious effort to check what kind of products are in. I gave that scenario because personally I received a hamper. I came home and I decided that let me break it out. Let me look at what is inside. In breaking it out, I realized that about 50 or 70% of the items were expiring at the end of this month. So one, the items are not expired. As we speak, is not expired. And I think that is what it is. The business person has stock. They have stocks that are almost expiring. This is a season that we all buy. Now, if you buy and you're going to use everything in the hamper within the stipulated time, there's no problem. But the issue is that we as Ghanaians keep things. You get the items, maybe you have already purchased all the things you need for Christmas anyway. So these items, you leave them somewhere, or either you also gift it out. And so if you don't take time, or if you are not cautious, then by the time you start using them without checking the expiry date, and I realize that for us Ghanaians, when the item is in our home, we feel it is part of, is mine, and so you don't worry about whether it's expired or not. And so the advice is, if you receive a hamper, that's a good gesture. Please, that's what we are advising. And if you want to make hampers, then probably, let's say you are an institution, you want to give out a lot of hampers, then it's better you go out and procure the individual items you wanted to put in the hamper and then give them to somebody to parcel them for you. With that, then you know exactly what you are putting in the hamper, which is better than going to buy the already prepared one, which are the risks that we are seeing.
Thanks for staying with us. Now, a mother and a father, each losing a son to election violence in their constituency dominated by guns. Today, one of them has been sharing the chilling account of how his son was allegedly gunned down during a clash with the police and the military in the Techiman South constituency. My colleague, Erastus Asaridonko, spoke to him.
Every now who say to account union.
Emra 2 o'clock kwalano na kwabo 4 o'clock. Na 4 something. Yeah, sorry we na yekwo no free botwemu between 4 to 5 more. If say sa incident ni see no enche bia na nsu edebe ebe toy. Nti nsu no na to kase pa. The Emma Nippon in idea, Bibisa said Nippon to me in Ansuum. Obi or no, the Ancanon or Bacco. Dinsuno tono, ambulance car on Edebe and buy a Bessa. omo e de koye ba na me kura me nim sa akora
memfa nse mo nyina na mo eho ena tuo no to so at what time na hu se unia no o kan mo atuo no kan mo
me de nipa na omo tutu omo tuo no omo do omo sisa omo no ena obi ba beka se wo se wo hu se omo sisa omo no me ba ne ka ho ena me se wo da bi nya no kure nti minua kuma wei oni gina wei nti me ka chen se won frɛ akwala no number na de ben yenhwɛ se no kure se nipa na esesa omo na akwala no ka ho a nti ono so frɛ number na bele ya obi amfa na wase wase wa frɛ number na bele obi amfa ena me se nde won frɛ fie e bia ye ba won sa akwala na ba fie a se nya information a yentimi engine tum se eye ono a ubetimi na akwala akwa ba na bibi nti wa ba fie kura abra wo mo amane nti wo mo fa na out fie first se oni fie dia na ansa na ede ben ya cheke nipa na ede ben omo nti wo frɛ fie sa omo se oni fie nti ho no na nso no gusu topa nti ana me se na mia mo meba fie aba ba cheke nti mi bedu fie no na me frɛ wo no ana wo so okay ono so okọ hospital mo nti mi ho na omo frɛ me se ayakwala no a nti memra hospital mo nti mi ko duro na minua kuma we kura no na omode na akwa omafa akwala no e se wo wuo instant wo wuo anti no na omode na akwa akwhye mo nti mi ko ma me ko bisa no se ye no kura e ma mi nyina aka bo mu ko mo twere ko we na ye no kura se doctor for no edna kwa akoto mo twere enye easy sa wonu se woni oba ejina wo sisi a na so akwala gina sisi ya na within be 1 hour ntim na yesa akwala no won kan hu bi o asase so a enye ize obi a oyare da o de unim se oyare da ho obi a otika mu a wo ko ba bi won se e ka akwanhia but we die ankoba ne sa akwala woni na frifie na within 1 hour ntim pepepepe na sa kra no a woni ne koye no ye beba fie no na ye bodia ye se oye wufuo umfa ni ize ate todo bia yen nkramofo no bibisi a aya na ya jama nyame no sen ze nyame se ade bia betu e bia nipa na deba but yemfa ma oni nyame na ye de manyame wi a wo se aya yensan hwehwe kwan a saade no efa so e bae na kyena no ya mabia nsibio.
It is also the departed rest in peace. Now, Chairperson of the National Commission for Civic Education, Josephine Nkrumah, speaking on the probe with MFA Apau last night, said that there must be an inquiry into the deaths of these 6 persons, so the police must be up and doing.
I think I'll speak about the deaths to say that having come this far as a nation, it was one of the saddest days to hear that people actually lost their lives over elections. I mean, after 2016 in particular, I was proud to say that, wow, this is how far we've come. And so 2020, we're going into 2020, we had some niggling doubts, but we didn't expect to see this kind of thing that unfolded in Techiman. And to lose even a finger over elections is unacceptable. So to lose some 6 or 7 now, I think 6 or 7 lives, it's inexcusable, it's unacceptable, and I think that we need a probe into that Techiman incident to understand what led to this. How did things come out of control, and why were lives lost? I think I've been asked if I thought the police were the right institution to conduct an investigation into this, and shouldn't it be an independent body? I mean, we've seen independent bodies conduct, like in the commissions of inquiry, we saw what happened in Ayawaso, and frankly, we didn't see a lot come out of it. Stemming from that, we saw the Vigilantism Act, and I'm sad to say, a beautiful act as we saw, and one of the key things that the law provided that vigilante groups disband, and within a certain time frame, and there's total silence on that. On a very serious note, I honestly think that the police should do a good job of this for us.
So you think that the police are the right group? You think that they should probe this?
I'm saying that
for a probe, and you believe
I'm
that
saying that we had Ayawaso, and we had a commission of inquiry that made so many recommendations, and we didn't see a lot of that implemented. And so I'm wondering, yes, I'm wondering how spending resources on that is going to, going to come up with something. Let them, with the police, and let them do that. And for the police.
Now, the opposition NDC's legal team says its 2020 presidential candidate, John Mahama, will in the next 48 hours be urging the Supreme Court to allow an independent person to collate votes obtained by candidates in the elections. A request for an audit of electoral materials will also be made of the justices of the Supreme Court. Now, Mr. Mahama obtained 47.36% against President Akufo-Addo's 51.59% in an election international observers have described as free and fair. Member of the NDC's legal team, Abraham Amaleba, says a crack team of statisticians and auditors tasked to investigate irregularities has handed a report to the party.
We are going to court, and what I mean is that there's a clear decision to go to court on the presidential elections, and we'll file our petition. That's what I mean.
Okay, but that's when you say it could be tomorrow, Tuesday.
It could be tomorrow, it could be Wednesday, but the team will decide.
Okay. So what are your issues?
I will not want to put away all information. It is important to note that our opponents are listening, and it's not. We do not want to put out all the information before we file the petition.
But eventually, when you file, your opponents will know
yes, but
exactly
but not now.
You filed.
We don't want them, but not now. That's why I said before the petition. It's not. But off on top of my head could just be the arithmetic errors that were committed by Jim Mensah in declaring the Nana Akufo-Addo as duly elected. I
remember during, the Electoral Commission has said that that mistake did not affect the outcome of the election. Yes. So is that what you're contesting, or when you put together the numbers, you got a different figure?
So she was trying to pull a wool over our eyes. When we use our mathematicians and our statisticians to subject what she's announced as the results, there were a number of flaws. That one, if you do it properly, Nana Akufo-Addo will come to 49-point-something%. What she did and eventually came out to say that, but it doesn't affect.
Okay, and NDC's John Dramani Mahama would get what percent?
No, nobody will cross 50 plus 1.
Okay, so that will take us into a runoff.
That one, yes. But there are other issues that we are sending to court, and if it is upheld, can overturn the results. And those are the issues that I say, just wait. When we file our petition, you'll see them.
Okay, so with the issues, the issue with the numbers, the figures that you say, if you put together with the changes, what are you asking the court specifically to do on that?
So with the mathematical error that was occasioned by her announcement, on that particular relief, we would indicate to the court that if you do it properly, this will be the outcome. However, we would want the court to commission an independent person to do it for all to see. Don't also forget that we will be requesting for auditing of the electoral materials.
Oh, okay.
You remember our flag bearer call on the EC if the EC thinks that it has discharged its responsibilities well to allow for the auditing of the pink sheets. She has since turned it down. I think the proper forum to do that will be in the court. So, and don't forget, in the last election petition, the Supreme Court orders for the auditing of the pink sheets.
Yeah,
so
that was...
You're live on Joy News today with me, Daniel Daze. Coming up in business, with only 4 days more to end the year, the Ghana Cedi is on the verge of recording one of its strongest performances since 2017. After this.
Hi there, welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. With only 4 days more to end the year, the Ghana Cedi is on the verge of recording one of its strongest performances since 2017. That will also make it one of the best performing currencies in sub-Saharan Africa. Supported by COVID-19 pandemic, which has ravaged global economies, diversified exports, and the Bank of Ghana's Forex Forward auction, the local currency has only lost 3.2% in value to the US dollar on the interbank market. It is even less on the retail market. Karij Mate is senior economist with Data Bank Research. He has been speaking to Joy Business about this.
There seem to be two reasons why we've seen a slowdown in activity on the foreign exchange market. One of them being that with the elections out of the way, the policy outlook is clearer now, and so the uncertainty and the apprehension that was priced into the foreign exchange market and driving safe haven demand for dollars, there's been a slowdown in that aspect of activity on the market. Then another factor why the market appears to have seen a slowdown in activity in the past week is that we were approaching the Christmas holidays, and so those investors who already took position, some of them are already closing their position, and as we get to the end of the year, some positions have already been closed, and so there is no incentive to engage in major movement on the market right now, and that explains the slowdown in activity on the foreign exchange market in the past week. Year to date, the Cedi has done marvelously well against its performance last year, and within the context of the COVID pandemic, there's been a 3.5% depreciation against the US dollar on the interbank market.
Now, indoor air pollution kills 4 million people yearly, according to recent findings. Fortunately, the Technology Consultancy Center of the KNUST is making efforts to curb this trend in Ghana by collaborating with the Energy Commission Ghana and the UNDP to produce fuel-efficient institutional stoves. Cedi Debra has more in this report.
Project Coordinator Donald Amrago says the project is to save lives and ensure fuel is used efficiently.
We want to see less firewood used efficiently, and then areas where gas or clean energy has not got to, they will also be okay in terms of energy requirements. The most important aspect is the elimination of indoor air pollution. Any enclosed area where the ventilation is poor, women, especially those who prepare food, inhale this, and it kills over 4 million people a year worldwide. And so this project is to make sure biomass is used efficiently, at the same time saving lives.
UNDP and Energy Commission have been implementing a project dubbed China-Ghana South-South Cooperation on Renewable Energy Technology Transfer. This is meant to accelerate the transfer and diffusion of RET of renewable energy technology from China to Ghana. The project is expected to help strengthen the enabling environment for the transfer and use of priority renewable energy technologies in Ghana. Ebenezer Ashi is project manager at the Energy Commission.
The program ended last year, which one of the key achievements was the Renewable Energy Master Plan, of which clearly spelled out the blueprint of our renewable energy sector by the year 2030. One of the key components of the program is for us to train artisans in the institutional cook stove sector. Over the years as a country, the private sector have been able to do well in terms of the development of the improved cook stove for the household sector. But in terms of knowledge and capacity exists for the institutional sector. It's against this battle. That's why we are organizing this particular program, whereby as part of the program, we are just tapping into the Chinese expertise and their experience within the improved cook stove sector.
The Technology Consultancy Center is currently training 15 artisans in the manufacture of the Chinese-made stoves. The director of TCC, Professor Samuel Mensasaki, says the center is transferring manufacturing technology to artisans in the Swami Magazine industrial enclave in the Ashanti region.
Yes, the initial number of artisans that we are training is around 15. And there are a lot more of them that are out there that might want to learn how to manufacture the stove. So we are envisaging that there will be subsequent training programs to give the others the opportunity to also come and benefit.
Reporting for JoyNews, Kwesi Deborah.
There's a full bulletin of business news at the top of the hour. Up next, sports. Stay tuned.
Thanks so much for joining us for the midday sport right here on JoyNews today. Let's now go to our first story, shall we? And a former vice president of the Ghana Football Association, George Afriyie, is urging the current leadership to give extra support to current Black Stars coach CK Akona. According to him, current actions do not portray support for him, and that will be required as the former Asante Kotoko coach pursues his job.
Akono was hired to replace Kwesi Appiah following the decision of the Executive Council to dissolve the technical teams of all national teams. The former Asante Kotoko head coach have had 50% success in his career as the technical head of the senior national team. Many have alleged that the leadership of the Ghana Football Association is forcing players on the former House of Oak Gaffer. Former vice president of the Ghana Football Association, George Afriyie, who also doubled as Black Stars Management Committee chairman, have called on the Ghana Football Association to give him the free hand and support to work.
I was happy when CK Akona was appointed because then another Ghanaian coach takes over from Kwesi Appiah. That was a good thing. It's a plus. Of course, it means that we are trying to help one of our own. I had the chance to travel with CK Akona when Kotoko played Zesco United. The night after the game, I sat in the dining room with him. I had then done my own analysis of the Kotoko team that plays Zesco. So I sat with him, and trust me, everything that I believe and everything that I had put together about the Kotoko team, the coach was thinking the same. So when I came back, I granted an interview at Kotoka International Airport, and I said that CK must be given the chance to continue his job because he was doing a very good job. Now, unfortunately, he was appointed the Black Star coach, somebody who deputized for Kwesi Appiah. And so what I want to tell the FA that they should leave the man to work. Honestly, everybody knows that Ked had a chance to work with CK at the point he was even managing him. So if, fortunately, one of his own has been appointed as the head coach of the Black Stars, we need to give him all the needed support. You see, you cannot send somebody out there to go and perform a duty and you expect him to do well, or you expect him to bring you the results. If you don't give him the needed support, what we'll do for a white man, let's do it for one of our own.
When questioned whether the current administration is not supporting CK Akono to succeed, George Efriye cited examples indicating that the FA have not thrown their weight behind the 46-year-old.
There are things that I know they are not doing. For example, I'll tell you why. Before this administration, Kwesi Nyantakyi's administration, was booted out or whatever, we had ordered 2 Land Cruisers. One for the head coach and one for the FA president. Why is CK not driving his Land Cruiser? We had negotiated with Honorable Siama, the sports minister, to give us a duty post. Dr. Kofi Amwa continued, he got a duty post. Why is CK not occupying the place? Recently, I saw that one of the physical trainers during our time has been appointed to the position of a physical trainer for the Black Stars. Fantastic, thumbs up. Because that guy is good, Jimmy Lawrence. Very, very good guy, hard-working guy. So I think that he's going to complement the work of CK. So I'm saying that let us give him all the needed support.
The senior national team is expected to convene in March 2021 to complete the 2022 AFCON qualifiers against South Tome and Principe and South Africa.
Let's do some more here on Midday Sport and talk some more football. Now, the General Secretary of the Ghana Football Association, Prosper Harrison Addo, says that all outstanding games in the Ghana Premier League have been honored, which paves the way for a smooth run of the fixtures for the rest of the season in 2021.
The coaches will tell you, the players will tell you, it's being killing fought for. We are not at 100% yet. Into continuous improvement. Every time we'll strive to improve. Until you can see the progressions. Even the players are improving, the coaches, everybody in the game are very keen. After match day 6, you can see we are in for a really good season, a very competitive season. So be ready for on the 1st of January 2021, where we kick in with the match day 7 matches, and then we'll move on from there to the end. So I can only say so far so good, but like our teachers say, there's room for improvement.
Room for improvement indeed. Let's do our final story for this bulletin and talk some athletics. Now, the Secretary General of the Ghana Athletics Association, Baf Hussein, says that he's hopeful for a better 2021, considering that the year 2020 has been a very difficult one for the sport of athletics here in Ghana.
The year has been challenging, most especially because of this COVID-19 case. We're not able to do a lot of our programs. And the year started good. We had few sponsorship, and we were able to do our first competition at the Sipon Sports Stadium. We were planning to continue with our programs within the year, but COVID came and we had to abide by government rules and regulations in terms of COVID protocols. And thankfully, the year is also ending well because we've started a lot of courses. Currently, there's one ongoing course at Damongo to train the newly created regions, coaches in all the new created regions. So I would say it was interesting year. The beginning was good. The middle and the larger part of the year wasn't too good, but the ending looked very good too. So it's a mixed year, ending good, starting good, but the larger part of it wasn't too good.
All right, so that's it for sport here on JoyNews Today. There's more later this afternoon on Sports Today. Well, JoyNews Today continues, and World News will come up very shortly. My name is Nathaniel Atto, and I have love for sport.